now I'd like to welcome to the stage our first speaker there. I first saw him at Poetry Shack, and then we also saw him again at Guildfest, and he's amazing. It's Luigi Coppola.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome. By the way, do I need a mic? No, you're definitely no front row, obviously. But yes, hello. My name is Luigi Coppola. It's a pleasure to spend a Saturday afternoon with you. Welcome, welcome. We saved you a chair near here, wherever you like. Yes, it's lovely to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Got a few poems for you. For the first poem, though, I'm going to divide the crowd into two. So, down this line, 1, 2, 3, and this side. If I point to this side, can you shout out the word glove? Let's give that a go.
Glove.
Excellent, lovely, very sonorous, I like that. If I point to this side of the room, can you shout out the opposite of the word glove, which is sock? Go around applause for William, he gets a gold star. Where would you like it? Star. Perfect. Excellent. Yes, so if I point to this side, can you shout out the word sock? Sock. Excellent. And if I throw my arms up into the air like thus, can you all shout out the most important word, which is love? Love, of course. A round of applause for Mr. Love. He gets a gold star. Where would you like that? On the hand. Fantastic. Right, excellent. So, glove, sock, love. Excellent. This is called the glove and the sock. The glove and the sock had hardly met. They lived quite separate lives. What each they thought they knew of one was gossip, rumours, lies. The glove looked down upon the sock and thought it dull and flat, with stumpy fingers, ball for palm. Well, what was the point of that? But on the other foot, the sock I thought the glove a prude, it hung above the floor so high, just pointing, which is rude. The glove thought badly of the sock. The sock thought less of glove. They screamed and moaned and teased all day, as if they couldn't love. As this went on and on and on, the tailor wore a smile. A tailor of textile talent, of taste and grace and style. The spin fell, but doing their own thing, that's absolutely fine. The tailor of taste and grace and style. But then one night, all thimbled up, toiling hard to finish work, the tailor became distracted by a din. Those two both go, oh, I didn't even have to instruct you, fantastic. Both going berserk. Now, the tailor didn't like loose strings, no, and hating quarrels more. Set out to teach them both a lesson neither could ignore. Taking needle and some thread, they sewed and sewed and sewed. And when they woke, oh shock, oh fright, a wicked curse bestowed. The glove was now become the sock. The sock was now the glove. The glove was low instead of high, and the sock felt ill above. The tailor laughed. Oh my God! That's got to be a gold star. The tailor laughed and left the pair to live the other's lot. The sock forever now, the glove forever sock. Together now they had to work to help and teach the other. The and the now and the must live life as the other. The glove at last felt the real weight of man, but learned to dance and skip and run. The caught fingers in the till, but learned to count to sum. The now tickled every toe instead of pinching cheek. The kept fingers toasty warm and didn't sweat or reek. The saw how the was true and kept the feet all snug. The saw how the was great at handshakes or a hug. The and the and the and the and the and the and the they learned a lesson in love. And through the years they lived their lives were never seen apart. The and the last time the and the each palm and soul and heart. Thank you very much. It feels like a hair down moment.
It certainly does.
It does, okay. So, sorry, I've taken it all, haven't I? Okay, so, this next piece is actually The original words to the nursery rhyme, there was an old lady that swallowed a
Fly.
fly. I think you were first, but you've already got a gold star. Let's do it again. Original words to the nursery rhyme, there was an old lady that swallowed a
Fly.
a Tory. Love it. Political. I think that was you. Yes? You're just desperate for a star, aren't you? Okay, so, yes, the original words were changed for political reasons. There was a young species that wiped out the bees, stifled the breeze, wiped out the bees. Tell me why, please. There was a dread species that drowned all the cats, skinned them and wrung them and swung them in sacks. They drowned all the cats and wiped out the bees, tightened their squeeze, wiped out the bees. Tell me why, please. There was a strange species that slaughtered the hogs, violent epilogues for all the hogs. They slaughtered the hogs and drowned all the cats, skinned them and wrung them and swung them in sacks. They drowned all the cats and wiped out the bees, increased the degrees, wiped out the bees. Tell me why, please. There was a blind species that butchered the tigers to satiate buyers with the skins of the tigers. They butchered the tigers and slaughtered the hogs. They slaughtered the hogs and drowned all the cats, skinned them and wrung them and swung them in sacks. They drowned all the cats and wiped out the bees. Brought a deep freeze, wiped out the bees. Tell me why, please. There was a hateful species that hunted the rhinos for ivory. They disposed of all of the rhinos. They hunted the rhinos and butchered the tigers. They butchered the tigers and slaughtered the hogs. They slaughtered the hogs and drowned all the cats, skinned them and run them and swung them in sacks. They drowned all the cats and wiped out the bees. Sold all they seized, wiped out the bees. Tell me why, please. There was a cruel species that culled all the elephants. Oh, what malicious negligence to cull all of the elephants. They culled the elephants and hunted the rhinos, and butchered the tigers. They butchered the tigers, slaughtered the hogs, they slaughtered the hogs and drowned all the cats, skinned them and run them and swung them in sacks. They drowned all the cats and wiped out the bees. Spread a disease, wiped out the bees. Tell me why, please. There was a mad species that murdered the whales, sawed off the tails of all of the whales. They murdered the whales and culled the elephants. They culled the elephants, hunted the rhinos and butchered the tigers. They butchered the tigers and slaughtered the hogs and drowned all the cats, skinned them and run them and swung them in sacks. They drowned all the cats and wiped out the bees. Poisoned the seas, wiped out the bees. Tell me why, please. There was a lost species that cut down the forests. Slitting your wrists is cutting down the forest. They cut down the forest and murdered the whales. They murdered the whales and culled the elephants. Culled the elephants, hunted the rhinos. Hunted the rhinos, butchered the tigers. They butchered the tigers, slaughtered the hogs and drowned the cats, skinned them and run them and swung them. They drowned the cats and wiped out the bees. Pulverized trees, wiped out the bees. Tell me why, please. There was a doomed species that blew up the planet. Damn it! Thank you.
Brilliant.
There's no time for applause. There's no time. Thank you very much, folks. This next poem, are we all right with swearing? Yeah. We are. Yes. Some people are very excited. Okay, so this is called Some Streets. Some streets have doors that don't open. Some streets have curves waiting to be bitten. Some streets have curtains that hide the inside. Some streets have cars with scratches on every side. Some streets have houses that cast no shadow. Some streets have faces lined with sorrow. Some streets have mouths that never show smiles. Some streets have streetlights that don't work for miles. Some streets have benches as beds for the destitute. Some streets have corners for every prostitute. Some streets have potholes that will break both your feet. Some streets have nowhere for people to meet. Some streets have bus stops without the right timetable. Some streets have shoes tangled in cables. Some streets have chimneys without any smoke. Some streets have stumps where there used to be oats. Some streets have drains too mucky to be flowing. Some streets have bins that are always overflowing. Some streets have engines revving all night. Some streets have balloons popping mid-flight. Some streets have gutters filled to the brim. Some streets have fences with spikes round the rim. Some streets have posh ends where the grass is greener. Some streets have poor ends where the grass smells stronger. Some streets have graffiti saying that I'm a wanker. Some streets have fly tipping that couldn't be ranker. Some streets have the deaf with nothing to do but watch TV. Some streets have the blind with nothing to do but listen to TV. Some streets have swine swallowing pearls. Some streets have old men waving at schoolgirls. Some streets have screaming at 2 a.m. in the morning. Some streets have clubs that are so boring. Some streets have reports that put them on someone's list. Some streets have neighbours that at first, when you move in, they seem really nice, but actually really racist. Some streets have screens flickering on dry eyes. Some streets have sunsets but never sunrise. Some streets have moons half empty, never half full. Some streets of pubs with hardly anyone in them at all. Some streets of parks with signs that say keep off. Some streets of empty Vladivar bottles everywhere instead of Smirnoff. Some streets of empty White Lightning bottles everywhere instead of Magnus. Some streets of that fucking Baby Shark song on repeat, never Wagner's. Some streets of cafes with hygiene ratings of 1. Some streets of gunshots to duck or run from. Some streets of closing signs on all the local bars. Some streets of bitten shit covering cars. Some streets of dog shit everywhere and dogs always barking. Some streets of cat shit everywhere and cats always screeching. Some streets of fox shit everywhere and foxes always fucking. Some streets have shoeless feet covered with sores. Some streets of diseases without any cures. Some streets of husbands settling scores. Some streets of children up against doors. Some streets of sweat leaking from pores. Some streets of the fallen holding onto floors. Some streets of breakings of hundreds of laws. Some streets of fighting endless, pointless, no-win wars. That's some streets. Now tell me about yours. Thank you. While I take a quick sip, tell someone near you the most interesting thing about your street. Someone you don't know, quickly. What's the most interesting thing about your street? Oh, Curry House has got to get a star. Who doesn't want to ask Curry House? Oh, it's folded. One. Okay, folks, time is up. Our time together is almost finished. Thank you very much. If you're looking for a Curry House recommendation, Colin knows one on the street. So, this is called the origins of the word yes. We're going to up the audience participation bit. So, if I point to you individually, I want you to shout, whisper, don't say it, whatever you like, the word no.
No.
No. Very nice, sultry. I like that. If I shake my hand slightly like this, can you all whisper, especially you two just walking in now, can you whisper the word maybe? Oh, that's spooky. And if I throw my arms up in the air, can you shout out the opposite of no, which is
Yes.
yes. That was you, I think. Yes, yes. Okay. I think this might be the last gold star because I'm cheap. Oh, on the pulse. I like it. Okay, so point, no, shake, maybe, up, yes. The origins of the word.
Yes.
In the beginning, the word was. Yes. Point is no, but I love it. Can we have a round of applause for the yes? He's so enthusiastic, he skipped to the end. In the beginning, the word was. No. The word. Interesting. Came from nothing. No. Came from. Oh, wow, very sexy. Came from nothing.
No.
Was all.
No.
Was the way.
No.
Was it? There was. Oh, I'll take that. That's probably better, actually. There was no nothing. Naught, zero. Yeah, good. Absent. Whatever the Latin for
No.
is, let alone anything. Simply,
No.
sublimely,
No.
limitlessly. Hey! However, trying to spell itself cracked, slow, began to doubt itself, and then came into being. It was never quite sure of itself. Was definitely not.
No.
You look scared. I like it. Not that way. No, but was certainly not anything defined. Was a delay. Was desperate. Was hiding a half-empty lighter in a half-full pocket, and was always in the shadow of one night or one afternoon, as the urban, and met and saw something to cancel out in one another, and shook hands. Find a stranger, shake their hand or fist bump or wave. Find someone you don't know. Extra star if you get up and find someone you don't know. Tell them, well, say hello. Tell them how beautiful they are. Ask them what they're doing later tonight. You might get lucky. Who knows? Someone you don't know, don't cheat. No one may be met and discovered suddenly, out of their own doubtful negativity, the word,
Yes.
the idea of,
Yes.
the concept of,
Yes.
and then, my children, suddenly anything seemed possible. All from the word.
Yes.
Folks, I've been Luigi Coppola. Thank you very much. Absolute pleasure. Have a lovely rest of the day. And hopefully see you soon. Thanks very much. Thank you very much. Thanks so much. Oh, don't start. Maybe
Thanks, Luigi. Also, while I remember, there's beers in there.